Good morning, everyone. Welcome to twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads as we broadcast live from absolutely not a technical. That sounded like you did a line of something. Okay, for those of you that may be watching on demand, we are doing our first stream in OBS, not Streamlabs OBS, and we were hoping it was going to be effortlessly smooth, and that's not quite the case. But thanks to you guys that are in the chat, we seem to be getting somewhere. Nice. However, when we went back to the start slate, I tried to mute Bib, didn't realize that I unmuted Bib, so you just heard Bibby go. So everyone in the chat saying, "Big inhale, lol." That was a for fuck's sake inhale. No, that was Bibby just chilling the fuck out. Yeah.
Composing
Exactly.
myself, getting myself ready, like clearing all the fucking strawberry pips from the back of my throat.
Yeah. Oh, I've just realised Bib's not even on screen because we hid him for some reason. I don't know. Where is this?
I'd hide me as well.
Cam. Boom. There he is. Hey, there he is. There he is. I'll read Bib.
Good morning.
Now Bibby is loud. What, like super loud?
Have another one of them.
Nice. Okay, let me see where my mic levels are. Okay.
My mic's telling me no.
Yeah, babe, he is kind of loud. Yeah. Okay, we'll drop that down a little. We'll drop that for now. Graham is far too low. Fuck's sake. Do you know what? I'm gonna have to drop Bib. That's the quick solution. I'm gonna have to drop Bib's mic levels down, and then hopefully Bib's not too low now, and then we can mix it from there. So, yeah, fun times, nice. Use OBS, they said. It'll be lovely, they said. Although it still looks like it will be lovely. It just reacts so much faster compared to everything else. I mean, for those that may have seen the tweet that I put out last night, I may have been dicking about a little bit, as you can see here. Maybe not. Here. So yeah, this would be where we play State of Decay. And usually, if I want to be in the top corner of the screen, I have to kind of like duplicate cams. So yeah, I was dicking about with the movie stuff yesterday. So now we can just fly around on the screen. So that's my spots. And then Bibby can go boop, 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 boop. So yeah, there you go. Fun times. Working hard. Oh, this one. When we're playing Pez, and me and Bibby are in the way of the goals because I forgot to move the screen again, we just move it to the top corner. Job's good. And just playing on my own? Nice. Need an extra player? Boom! There is the Bib. Oh, Bib's leaving? Just me. Nice. Yeah, working hard.
All the fancy shit.
Exactly. I mean, we can't do the basic stuff like getting microphones working, but we can do all the moving around shit. Yeah. It just reacts so much quicker as well. Like doing things like when I'm opening up the stream and you'll see the infomercial and then you see the countdown and then the scoop intro. That's 3 different videos. But I press the button on my stream deck and it's almost like there's a second delay every time. So whenever I jump back to the start slate, you might see the scoop intro and another video and another video. As I'm pressing, I've gone close, and it goes boop 1, boop 2, 3. Or you might have heard it when we're doing the discussing now, when we're in a news article, and I'm typing what the news article is, the discussing now, I'll type it in, and then I watch the letters like fill out on the screen. OBS is so much quicker. Anyway, you don't need to know about all that shit. You just want to know about what the news is. Maybe you're on about why are we here discussing the news? Well, if you don't know, my name is Graham D. This is the man that we call BB. I'll read. We are Ice Cream Uploads. And in true ice creamy fashion, this is The Scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast, even if we do say so ourselves. Anyway, we will give you our thoughts and our impressions on the biggest, the best, and the breaking stories from the world of video games. Sometimes with audio, sometimes with all the audio, sometimes it works. And, hopefully it is right now. Anyway, we're going to give you our thoughts and impressions, but we want your thoughts and impressions too. If you are live with us in the chat, it's important that you do give us those thoughts and impressions. We go live on Twitch each and every single weekday at 10 a.m. ish. 10 a.m. ish. It's now 11:22, but in fairness, we have been live for about 36 minutes, so we were 10 a.m. ish. But we do go live at 10 a.m. ish each and every single weekday. But we turn the live stream into a podcast, and that's where your thoughts and impressions come in handy because we turn it into a YouTube video and an audio podcast on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Google Play. So make sure you do give us those thoughts and impressions on behalf of everyone watching and listening on demand later on. Nice. First things first, exclamation mark, loot, drop. Our daily reminder that if you're a sub, make sure you get a chance to win some freebies. We had a conversation on what we're giving away this month, Bib. Should we tell people or should we wait until we get the asset? What we're saying?
I can give a clue, a very small one.
Do it. Tease.
The game is out in 14 days.
Oh.
14 days, Graham.
Ooh. So we will be giving away a game that is out in 14 days, in around 10 days. So it won't even be out and you'll be guaranteed a copy. How lovely is that? See, that's what you get for being a sub on Ice Cream Plus. One person will win a copy of said game. Anyone know what it's going to be? Anyone want to take a guess? Return of the... No, it's not that one. It's not that one. Anyway, so yeah, exclamation mark loot drop. Did someone type that in the chat? Just checking if Streamlabs.
Yeah, loot drops in there, yeah.
Nice. Cheers. Oh, cheers, Mr. Gallic Clark did it. Thank you very much, Gary.
Shaggy
Just
Gary.
wanted to make sure my chatbot and OBS were playing ball. I mean, it should do because chatbot speaks to Twitch. But anyway, forget all that. Let's jump into some news. That's what we're all here for. And do you know what? We decided to roll back the years. For anyone that was around here, it's not Cyberpunk 2078? Question mark, says Gaga. No, the next game that we're giving away is not Cyberpunk 2078, but the prequel to that game is actually what we're going to talk about for the first news story of the day. Thank you very much for helping the tie into there, Gaga. Much appreciated. Okay, so for those of you that can see it on the screen now, this is written by Sherif Saed at VG247, and it says the real cost of Cyberpunk 2077 refunds is $51 million, not $2.2 million. Whew. Okay, the number of players who requested refunds for Cyberpunk 2077 is small, but not insignificant. Overnight, CD Projekt published its full year 2020 earnings report, which covers the entirety of its business, including the recent release of Cyberpunk 2077, ongoing sales of The Witcher, as well as revenue from Gwent and GOG. CD Projekt revealed that by the end of 2020, Cyberpunk 2077 had sold 13.7 million copies worldwide. PC and Stadia claimed the lion's share of sales at 56%, and PlayStation is next with 28%, followed by Xbox at 17%. Overall, CD Projekt made over $563 million in revenue, or $303 million net profits across the entire business in 2020, over 4 times more compared to 2019. Part of this week's report and subsequent post-earnings call was to offer more details on various parts of the business and address investor concerns over a number of issues. In the conference call, CD Projekt touched on refunds for Cyberpunk 2077. The developer-publisher specifically discussed the Help Me Refund campaign, saying that some 30,000 refund requests were submitted through it. This ended up costing the company $2.23 million all told. Help Me Refund was a campaign designed to offer disgruntled players who could not get a refund directly from retailers and digital stores full compensation. It was a limited time program CD Projekt came up with in the wake of widespread mistrust, seemingly as a way to salvage some of its reputation. But Help Me Refund is only a small part of the cost of refunds. The company also revealed in the same report that $51.2 million, including Help Me Refund, was the real cost of refunds in 2020. CD Projekt said these those expenses are, quote, provisions for returns and expected adjustments of licensing reports related to sales of Cyberpunk 2077 in its release window in Q4 2020. As pointed out by Ars Technica and analyst Mike Futter, the figure covers all Cyberpunk 2077 refunds, including those made at retail and digitally. It also includes projected losses from refunds in the first quarter of 2021, as well as those made very late last year. They weren't included in the report. The brutally opaque corporate speak is likely intentional, as is the location of this particular page in the greater report. Nevertheless, 51 million is a small number compared to the CD Projekt's revenue and profits for 2020, but it's significantly more than what you would have been led to believe going off CD Projekt's initial statement, which, as noted, only covers Help Me Refund. Big numbers.
Massive
Very
numbers.
big numbers. $51 million, not $2.2 million, is the financial loss for CD Projekt Red for Cyberpunk. Not really. I'm not going to say not significant. Definitely significant. Nowhere near the amount of profit that the company made in the year, but still a huge, huge loss. What are your thoughts, babe?
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest things that I can take away from this isn't even the numbers, is where the game has been played or sold. Like PC and Stadia come in with the lion's share at 56%, where PlayStation is in with 28%, followed by Xbox with 17%. They stopped selling this on PlayStation in November last year. So that just shows how many people actually bought this physical or digital, and now the remaining people still can't buy it. So even if you had a small interest and you couldn't afford it on payday in October, you wouldn't have been able to play it unless you went out and bought it physically until now. It's mental that the PlayStation is still that high, but it just shows how in demand that console is, regardless of whether or not it's a 4 or 5. The amount of consoles that are out there for PlayStation is still taking a massive chunk of this. You can still buy it on PC. Stadia ran something that if you was to buy the game, you'd get Stadia for free. So you could pay £50 for the game, get Stadia controller, Ultra Chromecast Ultra, and everything else that you need. You get that for free. So obviously they managed to make quite a little pretty penny over there with that promotion as well. So I mean, Xbox is 17%. I'm sure that Xbox would love to see that a little bit higher, but all the bad press that happened the day after and weeks after and still now is still damaging consoles and PC and Stadia. I mean, they've had to refund $51 million. That, in the grand scheme of things, is a game that hasn't done what it's supposed to do. I can't think of another game that's been refunded as much, even anywhere close to that amount of money.
No, I agree. That confused me then when I said no, and I heard a voice in my headset. Usually that's baby talking, so I stopped. Someone's talking. Oh wait, it's me. You guys can't hear that though.
Mm.
But yeah, it's an astronomical figure. Not many companies make 303 million net profit. CD Projekt Red did, but however, they did lose 51 million. There's still 250 million or 252 million in profit, so still not skin by any stretch of the imagination. That said, to lose 50 million when do they even have any other games in the pipeline? It's probably Cyberpunk DLC and so on. Which they did have a long-term roadmap that I can't remember what that looks like anymore because it's been amalgamated and changed and so on after the launch. That 50 million when you're not gonna release a AAA game for what, another 6 years, maybe? Maybe less if they're working on something already. That 53 million suddenly becomes a big loss. So 300 million in a year, GG's. Losing 50 million. Wow, that is pretty big numbers.
Yeah. I've just
Um,
seen another set of numbers actually from GameIndustry.biz that just tweeted out. Well, it's 16 hours ago, but CD Projekt revealed that 13.7 million copies of Cyberpunk sold last December. It's refunded 30,000 of those in the Help Me Refund program. 1,000 copies, that's a lot. It doesn't say on what console. It doesn't say if it's refunded over in the in. It is. Can you get 51 million out of 30,000 copies? 30,000.
I don't know.
I'm
No, not
terrible at maths, so I couldn't work that out anyway. But that does seem like a hell of a big number considering they sold 13.7 million copies. and then 30,000 of it. I mean, that's a drop in the ocean. 30,000 out of 13.7 million. Can't see that being anywhere close to being 51 million. I
Well,
haven't clicked in the article to have a look at anything else,
if
so it could just be for one particular console.
if they sold 30,000 copies and had to give them back, and that led to 51 million, then each copy of the game cost $1,700. Obviously, I mean, thinking about it now I've said it out loud, the article did mention
Yeah,
the article did mention that there was forecasting, and I would assume marketing spend. They've probably offered payment to PlayStation for something else. They would deliver something, maybe something for Xbox that they can't quite deliver on. A bunch of other things that they may have committed that they couldn't do that they've probably then had to like pay out for instead. I imagine there's a chunk of that because there you go. Callum says at $60 a copy, that's 850,000 refunds. Yeah, just a few, just a few. So a bit more than 30,000. So yeah, there's got to be other bits in there then. The interesting thing, I mean, looking at the numbers as well, is that, and I say this is interesting, it wouldn't really have caught my attention if it hadn't have been for a weirdo in the mentions last night. So, does anyone remember, 6 months ago, Stadia's creative director, who wasn't Stadia's creative director, he was a creative director at a studio that works on games for Google and Stadia, and he said that streamers should pay was it like something like streamers should pay royalties to games to be able to play their games or something like that? They should be thankful, or they should have a license to be able to do that kind of thing. Which I understand the conversation we spoke about it at the time. We had an in-depth conversation, but the gist of it was, lol. It just shows that they don't understand how impactful video game marketing is when you put it in the hands of content creators, and he didn't understand that, and he had some weird chip on his shoulder angle, and as so got ripped apart by pretty much everyone in any form of content, be that journalists, be that content creators, be that other developers. And Google Stadia even came out and said, yeah, this guy's not creative director, and yeah, we don't think the same thing as him. Anyway, so in that conversation thread, Ben at Winstano from Next Gen Base responded saying, yeah, with attitudes like this, Stadia will be dead in 6 months. Anyway, fast forward 6 months forward, that was yesterday. And someone decided to go, lol, the irony of this, 6 months and Stadia's still going. So the Stadia fanboys came into the mentions last night, like going, yeah, you said Stadia was going to be dead 6 months and it's not. Talking about how big and how good Stadia is. And the reason I'm talking about this is, I mean, well, first of all, Stadia is pretty much dead. It's not dead. It's not. It's alive. It's doing well for the people that are playing it. But would anyone in this chat, and this obviously question goes to you, Bib, would anyone say Stadia has been the success that Google wanted it to be?
No.
So therefore, Stadia is a failure. If it's not done what they wanted to achieve, it's failed, which is a shame because we have paid for a founder's edition of Stadia because we thought the technology is amazing. Anyway, that's kind of what that person was saying in the mentions last night. And he was full on White Knight fanboying, like anyone that says anything bad about Stadia, he was just finding them and attacking them and so on. But the reason I'm talking about this is his whinging backwards and forwards kind of drew my attention to, in that call, when it says in the article here, PC and Stadia claimed the lion's share of sales at 56%. That's pretty generous to put PC and Stadia in there together. Because someone said it was something like, what was the percentage of sales that Stadia actually had? And the guy from CD Projekt Red, I mean, this could be clickbait and it could be misrepresented, but the way it was represented by multiple journalists late last night in tweets was, when they asked what percentage Stadia had led to, the guy from CD Projekt Red laughed and then said something like 2% or something like that. So yeah, it's interesting to see that the did include Stadia. I mean, is Stadia PC? I know you're playing PC games effectively, but is it PC? Because you're playing with a controller, and can you play mouse and keyboard? I don't even know. It's a failure.
Yeah, I mean, Stadia is probably better on PC anyway because I think a lot of people have ended up modding it to be able to get the game playable to a certain extent. Like there was one clip that stands out more than anything is where someone's in the we'll call it Times Square. It's absolutely not, but just imagine how many people will be walking around the area and someone fires off a grenade launcher in the middle of it and everyone just scatters like that in 2 seconds. They just all disappear off the screen. So someone's managed to mod it so that people don't leave or they'll run away slowly rather than just disappearing off your screen like a pixel. So there is a heavy modding community that are actually making the game playable to a certain extent. And that's why I think most people have picked it up on PC anyway. I mean, games like that, when you want it to look as beautiful and pretty as you ever want it, the amount of graphics cards that are capable of doing that. And don't forget, a lot of people couldn't even get next gen consoles back then, so they probably had a PC that was capable of outperforming the last gen consoles. So yeah, I imagine it probably sold more on PC than it would do for any other console anyway. I imagine the gap will get a lot smaller when the game comes out for next gen consoles and it's in a much better position. I heard that when they brought out the last patch with that it would have took you 17 days to be able to read the patch notes. That the game was in a much better position, but it was still far from what they expected or what was told to them, what people expected, what's the word I'm looking for? What something that they told you it was going to be, but it didn't end up being.
I
I've lost the word. I've
That's it.
lost the word.
You keep saying the word expected, and I'm thinking you're using the word expectations, but yeah, it didn't live up to the expectations anyway.
Yeah, yeah, correct. Yeah, the expectations that CD Projekt claimed to be giving to people, it didn't live up to even half of that, even with the new patch. So again, like you, mine's up on the shelf. Yours is still in the cellophane. It's not in my
Do you know
console.
what?
It's
We're
not
talking about
installed on it. I'm
Cyberpunk, so
waiting
that's it. I'm
for
opening the drawer. I'm getting it out. I have to. We can. It's not. It's not. Oh, there we go.
it. Yeah. The thing is, I shit on this game a lot, right? I've backed the game. I've got the game. I just want it. I just want it to be something that was what we come to expect from this game because the expectation was set by them, not by us. The expectation was set by them. They told it was going to be this amazing, like beautiful city, which it is. It absolutely is. You look at everything to do with the city, and it's beautiful. It's just broken. So that's the thing that pisses me off the most. I really, really want to play this game. It was definitely going to be one of my games of the generation when it came out on the PlayStation 4. I expect it to be in a state on my console where I do think it's up there as a contender. Maybe not even take the top spot, but it would be a contender. And it's just nowhere near that. And that's what upsets me the most about that game because it has everything that I would absolutely love in a video game. It's just nowhere close to being part of what I want from a video game at this moment in time.
The thing is, very rarely do you get so much of a divide. I mean, I'm firmly in the camp that Cyberpunk wasn't great. If anyone wonders why I keep pulling my headset off, it's because that full having my own voice coming through my head is still sending me under a little bit. So I need to kind of like pull it off so I can concentrate when I'm talking. When Bibby's talking, it's not too bad, but when I'm talking, I'm hearing it. But very rarely do you get a game that could sit quite easily in someone's top 10 lists. So you're saying Cyberpunk could have been up there, but very rarely do you get a game that actually sits in people's top 10 lists and then at the same time actively sits in someone's top drawer while still being wrapped in cellophane. And that's how disproportionate it is. And that's the shame because the
Yeah.
game's not shit. The game is exceptional by all accounts, really. I mean, I know some people are saying the story isn't actually as good as you expected it to be. They expected something that pushed the boundaries and they played a bit safe in certain areas and so on. You get that with narrative all the time anyway. People have opinions. That's what makes it wonderful. But to see something that when people played it on PC and played through the story, they were like, a lot of people, some people said it was the best game they've ever played. A lot of people said it was an excellent game. Unless people said it was actually shit, didn't enjoy it, couldn't really feel it, couldn't get into it, and so on. But people that played it on PC and played through it had a really good time. It's just such a shame that that
Mhm.
it's hamstrung itself so much. The thing is, though,
Yeah.
I mean, is that kind of a good thing? Let's like also we've talked about how bad it's been. We've done that for 1,000,001 times. Obviously, adding a bit of balance to it. Does that give them the potential to start afresh? So I know they've sold 13.7 million copies. Over half of those were on PC formats. Only 28% were on PlayStation, with only 17% on Xbox. When next gen comes, does that give them a relaunch? Can we see their 13.7 million copies getting closer to 20 million? Because with only 28% and 17% of the audience on console buying the game, we already know that PC and console is an even split almost. So there is a lot of percentage potentially there. Well, I say a lot. There's probably another 20% uptick. Could we see them get to 15 million, 20 million? Potentially. So I'm saying they're 50 million lost. They could potentially bring that back over the next few years if
Mhm.
they stick to that roadmap, and by September, October, we have the next gen version. Imagine we all wanted Cyberpunk for last year, and they shit themselves by putting it out for last Christmas. They could get their redemption story this Christmas if they get it all fixed and put it out there.
I'd love that. I genuinely would love that. And I think if you are a video gamer who was interested in this, any capacity, everyone loves a good redemption story. I mean, the biggest one, and one that will always be used, is No Man's Sky. That's the biggest redemption story I think I've ever seen in video games. Gone from bargain basement video game where it's next to the till for £5 or $5 wherever you're from, and then now it's a game that you can quite happily give more than £30 over to be able to play that game and experience it, because they've had the time. They got a lot of shit. They could have down tools and just moved on to the next project. People would have been super pissed. They were, for like at least 12 months of that video game's life cycle. And now look at it. It's like one of the best
Look at
experiences you
us.
could probably have in video games. And the community even bought the company a billboard outside their office to thank them for that.
Do you
So
know what we used to have conversations about? We had the PUBG buzzer and the Volta buzzer or the Resi
yeah.
buzzer kind of thing. We need like a Journey buzzer. Not was it No Man's Sky? I don't know where I got Journey from. No Man's Sky buzzer. So whenever we talk about that, we need like a boop, boop. Let's jump back through the chat then. Return of the Mac says, did you see the memes in comparison to Grand Theft Auto 5 with things like grenades exploding in water? I think it was. I didn't. Do you have a link? Drop the link. GTA 5 had better animations. Well, that's the thing. GTA
Mm,
5 is a PS3 game that's been upscaled to 2
mhm.
generations. And if that had better animations, then it shows how bad they've handled that. I mean, was that
Yeah.
for PC or was that for everything? Actu- Can we now reply in line in our chat, by the way? Or is this just because I'm using um OBS?
Yeah,
So
you
like,
can.
has that always been the case, or is that just because in OBS?
No, in our chat you couldn't do it for a while. I don't know why. I don't know if it was just filtering through to chat certain accounts at a time, but yeah, you can reply on ours.
Because
Well, I can in our stream manager anyway.
I mean, I
Ooh.
can see it here and do it here now. We've never had that function. It's something you can't opt into. Twitch, we're just rolling it out to different accounts and so on. How long has that been there? I've never noticed it before today. Well, I noticed it
Mm.
yesterday actually, but I thought maybe that's just because I'm dicking about with OBS. But anyway, that's not important. What is this Stadia you talk of? Says Tido. Well, ask the guy that was in my mentions last night. He'll tell you. He was fucking loving life. Literally, full on, like, when you talk about simps and stuff like that, I know that's not a word you're supposed to use on Twitch anymore. But someone that will white knight for someone else. Fanboy, basically. He was a Stadia fanboy. Anyone that had a negative opinion of Stadia, he was jumping in, offering comments. There you go. Gary says, mate, that guy was deluded as fuck. I read that half asleep this morning. My first thought was face palm. Yeah. Gary says, I woke up with 16 notifications and thought, oh shit, did I tweet something shitty last night? And people hating on me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like full on. It was like mansplaining. That sort of like, I think you'll find that it's actually this. And it's like, all right, Ben knows what he's on about. He is, I mean, as Ben was kind of like playing himself down, he says, I just work in IT and I write for a blog and I've got a YouTube channel with 23 subs. I'm not exactly a journalist. I'm just a guy that's interested. But Ben has a lot of knowledge. And this guy was like, no, no. So, yeah, I just went, fuck me. Like, fuck full stop, me full stop. I was like, I don't usually block people, but you, my friend. Boop.
I
Anyway,
must have completely missed this. I must have been in bed or something because
it was like after
well over my
midnight.
head.
That's the thing. The tweet
Oh, right.
that it was in response to was written. The tweet thread was 6 months old, so they must have saved it or bookmarked it or something. So that 6 months down the line, because Ben had said, I would be surprised if Stadia lasts 6 months, and they came back 6 months to the day later and went, and it was something like, no, Ben, that was it. He said the irony is that Stadia is probably not going to last 6 months. So these guys must have saved it. 6 months later, came back and went, well, this has turned out ironic, hasn't it? And it's like, it was just a throwaway comment. You absolute lettuce, get out. Oh yeah, we really missed up the launch of our hardware. Google, hold my beer. It was, what was it before that? I keep wanting to say, was it On Live, the one that we've got in the studio? Was it,
Yeah, it was on live. Yeah.
Are we gonna get cloud gaming that is just done properly? Yes, we are. Xbox,
Game
nice.
Pass. Yeah.
That's a relief. Although those people are very strange going with Stadia. Look, I got Jaguar from Atari day one, so I guess I can partly imagine their feelings on it. Gary Clark, I cannot defend the system. Jaguar was terrible at the end of the day. I quite liked it for all like 1.5 games there was for it. It was all right. Exactly. If a piece of hardware is great, we'll say it's great. If it's shit, we'll say it's shit. Why people attach to a brand and get annoyed when someone says something negative is beyond me. It's such a weird thing. I mean, that's the thing. This guy was telling me and Ben effectively. I mean, Ben was having a conversation with him. I was watching the final episode of Elementary. And then afterwards, I realised that Ben had just kind of gone, oh, fuck you, get out of here, you weirdo. But we both own Stadia. We both have bought into it. Like, Ice Cream Uploads has 2 Founders Editions of Stadia. That's how invested we were in hoping for it to be good. But it's not. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not great either. And we know that, and we can see that. And just because you enjoy it doesn't mean that thousands of other people think it has no USP. So I would love it to be good. It's just not. It's just not for me. Zexity says, hi. Hey, how you doing? Welcome into the stream. Gary says, I forgot about On Live. That was a shit show and a half. I remember that was before I even worked at Jelly. So I was still freelance, doing news articles, and we had a few On Lives. So I got one to review, and I remember review it going, do you know, this could be the future. So my interest in cloud gaming has gone back 15 years-ish, something like that. Was it probably about 13 years? I don't know, somewhere like that. So my interest in cloud gaming has gone back that far. The reason Stadia disappoints me is because there are so many similarities with On Live. It was going to be wonderful. There was no games. It was laggy as feck. I mean, some people aren't getting latency issues, but a lot of people are. And because this one guy last night didn't have latency issues, it doesn't exist. I mean, okay, I'm not often the victim of racism. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist, dickhead. Get out. Anyway,
I'm just looking through his tweet. This guy's tweets now from yesterday, and it wasn't just you.
No.
And Ben. Like
everyone.
his entire mentions. It's fucking hell. Like, how much time do you have, Sunshine?
The thing is, like, I did a proper dick move that I enjoyed last night because I came back after watching our final episode of Elementary. It was fairly late on, like 12:30-ish, maybe even closer to 1 in the morning. 1 o'clock in the morning, 6 months after someone's had a casual conversation about Stadia, this guy was in their mentions, like, being a dick. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to do the ultimate dick move now. I'm going to call him out and then block him before he gets a chance to respond. Yeah. So I did, but then my intrigue got the better of me. I'm thinking, is he just tweeting out like, some people are dickheads, they call you names and they don't stay for the fight? So I clicked on his profile just to see. About 20 minutes later, No, not phased. Wasn't phased in the slightest that I called him out and blocked him. He was already in a dispute with someone else. It's like, my God, get over. Life exists, my friend. Get out there, enjoy it,
It's
see
a lot
the
of wasted
world.
energy in it.
Exactly. Anyway, let's stop wasting energy on him and let's move into a little bit more news. Nice. Bib, would you like to play some Battlefield?
Graham, that is music to my ears. Yes, of course I would.
Okay, well, that's good because the next bit of news is that the Battlefield is expanding. 2 new Battlefield experiences are in development, one for console and PC, plus another for mobile. Okay, stop there. That means basically me and Bib can play Battlefield on stream, nice. But also, when me and Bib are on a train to Glasgow or wherever it was in Scotland for a gaming event and we have to come back, we don't have to just wreck the world in PUBG Mobile. Battlefield Mobile can face the gruesome twosome. Yeah. Okay. Turned it on, turned it off. Okay, there we go. Back into the news. Is this on the Battlefield website? Is that where this was?
Actually, this was submitted by Tassim Vera Industrial Leaker, so who knows where we got this from, Graham?
Nice. Thank you very much, Mr. T.
He wants his sources to remain anonymous.
Ooh. I think it's ketchup, if I'm being honest. Maybe a bit of barbecue, sweet baby rays. Lovely. Anyway, hey, Battlefield community. I know everyone is wanting more detail about what's to come for Battlefield this year, and I promise we have a lot in capitals, so it must be a lot, to show you in the coming months. We're putting some things together for when we reveal the next generation of Battlefield, and we can't wait to show that to you all. But for now, we have a couple of things we wanted to tell you about. First, we're really excited to have the biggest Battlefield development team ever working on our console and PC game for this holiday season. That's exciting. And second, we have something. Oh, well, okay, I've said that was exciting. It has the words exciting in it. So, okay, I'll start that whole sentence again because I just want it to flow properly. First, we're really excited to have the biggest Battlefield development team ever working on our console and PC game for this holiday season. And second, we have something very exciting to talk about on mobile, the return of all-out warfare. 2021 is an exciting time for us here at DICE, working with more world-class development studios within Electronic Arts. We have our biggest team ever on a Battlefield game for console and PC. Our friends at Criterion and DICE LA are working with us on our shared vision for the game, while the team in Gothenburg is taking technology in the game to the next level. Together, we are creating a jaw-dropping experience for you to enjoy later in 2021. We're in daily playtesting mode right now, polishing, balancing, and making the best possible Battlefield game we can. I can tell you it is a bold step. It has everything we love about Battlefield, takes all of it to the next level. Epic scale. I mean, that's a sentence on its own in the article there. Epic scale. Nice. All-out military warfare. Crazy, unexpected moments. Game-changing destruction. Massive battles packed with more players and mayhem than ever before. All brought to life with the power of next-gen consoles and PCs. Get ready for our reveal, quote marks, soon, trademark, winky face emoji. And a new Battlefield mobile game coming in 2022. Do you know what? That whole paragraph that I just read through there, that's absolutely an E3 paragraph. That you can just imagine someone from Criterion stood on the stage going, it has everything we love about Battlefield and takes all of it to the next level. Pause, look around the room, lock eyes with that journo at the front row on the left-hand side. Epic scale. Turn around, look the other way. All-out military warfare. Eyes straight back, front and center, down the middle of the camera lens, talking to everyone watching at home on the stream. Crazy, unexpected moments, and then back to the room. Game-changing destruction. Massive battles packed with more players and mayhem than ever before. Fucking GG's, whoever wrote that. That's fucking Hollywood-esque. I mean, I was excited for a new Battlefield anyway, but that paragraph on its own. Anyway, let's wrap it back up with some mobile content as it's got in the end. A new Battlefield mobile game coming in 2022. It's always been our vision to bring Battlefield to more platforms. So after years of prototyping, I'm super happy to be able to let you know that our friends at Industrial Toys, working closely with all of us here at DICE, are developing a completely new Battlefield game, bringing all-out warfare to smartphones and tablets in 2022. Make no mistake, this is a standalone game, a completely different game from the one we're making for console and PC, designed specifically for the mobile platform. It's been built from the ground up by iToys to make Battlefield on the go a reality, and you can expect a fully fledged, skill-based experience. This mobile game is now entering a testing period ahead of launching next year, so expect more details to come. Can't wait to show you the 2 Battlefield games we have coming. In the meantime, stay safe and play some Battlefield. Oscar Gabrielson, General Manager at DICE. Battlefield. Bib, thoughts?
I mean, I'd absolutely love to have someone like Westy on here to give us the more in-depth stuff, because I have absolutely no problems in saying that I am absolutely a casual Battlefield player. I have been over the years, but it's just because I haven't got that Bad Company vibe back yet. Do you know what I mean? I haven't had that experience where it's the only game that I want to play. So someone who has a proper in-depth Battlefield history and knows everything inside out, it would be fantastic to get his opinion on this. But this, for me, it's a lot of PR statement here, bold, buzzword stuff. I just need to see it now. I just need to see it. The mobile stuff, fair enough. It is what it is. I'm not a mobile gamer. It's definitely a time passing, like you said, on a train, and we want to be able to rip shit up on that. It's never going to be my mainstay. If I'm downstairs, I've got my Nintendo Switch. I'm playing games on that. But I come upstairs to play PC games or on my console or whatever. But I need to see more of this. I need to see what we've got going on, because there's a lot of buzzwords in here. What was it? All out military warfare, crazy unexpected moments, game changing destruction, massive battles packed with more players and mayhem than ever before. Let's see it.
It's the
Show your balls.
the E3 sentence is the one that follows that. It's the all brought to life with the power of next gen consoles and PCs. That's the bit where you've got like the Jim Ryans or the Andrew Houses or whatever developer guy wearing a t-shirt and a bomber jacket with jeans. Nice, yes, obviously, because that's how it's gonna be. But I enjoy all of what I've just read. Sounds good to me. I love the idea of Battlefield games. We've spoken about this before, and I think most people that watch this show are kind of aligned. We all like the idea of playing gun games. Not all of us, but most of us. So we may play some PUBGs, we may play some Warzones, we may play some Battlefields, or have done in the past, and we all are really excited for Battlefield. We kind of all said that Battlefield has not been as good as COD recently. I'm going to put the cards on the table. It hasn't. But Battlefield, at its best, has been better than COD, generally. I mean, there's some moments to take away. Some periods of playing, like COD 4 and I don't know, Modern Warfare 2, that sort of era. Maybe that there's a dispute there. But generally, when Battlefield hits it hits high, hits well.
Yeah.
And it's not done that for a while. So super excited. So for them saying they have larger teams, more resources, that's wonderful, because Battlefield, what was the last one? Was it 5 or 1? I can't remember with their number strategy. Was it Battlefield 5?
It was Battlefield 1.
Oh, okay. Well, Battlefield 1,
I think.
I don't,
it was.
I see. I thought 5, but I don't actually remember. I have both of them, but I don't know. They're the same game in my mind. But whatever Battlefield it was, it was a victim of a lack of resources, and that resource could be developers, it could be time. They rushed things out, so putting Firestorm and that half-assed attempt at Battle Royale in with everything else. Was it 5? Yeah. They just didn't. They didn't do it justice. So the fact that they have a larger team means that they have the ability to do that. Because Battlefield has a lot of catching up. Don't get me wrong. Battlefield could be an amazing campaign. It could be an amazing multiplayer game, but there is a different fight now in terms of Call of Duty has Warzone, and that is the long-term prospect. Battlefield doesn't have that, so they have to start on that front. Will they do that? How do they tackle that? That is the reason why you've got DICE, LA, and Criterion, as well as the Gothenburg teams, all working hand in hand to try and deliver that. So that does excite me. I must admit, I'm kind of becoming more and more open to mobile gaming as time goes on. I'm still definitely a console gamer. I'm still definitely a PC gamer. And like Bib says, I would jump to a Switch before I jump to play a game on my phone. I do not like touch controls for phones, like most people. My fingers. Oh, look how cool this game looks. It'd be a shame if I put my fingers all over it so I can't see it. Yeah, great. Yeah, nice. So mobile, I'm not too fussed about yet, but I am becoming. It's turning my attention towards it a little bit more. This though doesn't, for the main reason where they're kind of selling this as a positive. They've made a bespoke for mobile game. And they even start it with, make no mistake, this is a standalone game, a completely different game for the one we're making for console and PC, and blah, blah, blah. That's where it kind of loses my attention, because I want convergence. I want to be able to start a game on my PlayStation, continue it on my PC, and then when I'm on the train with Big, I want to continue playing it there. I can't do that on PUBG yet, but I can do that on Fortnite. If I'm grinding my battle pass, I can do that on Fortnite. I want to do that. I want to do that on Battlefield too. I don't want a completely separate game. I know it's the same game, same but different, but different. What? Yeah, I want my battle pass that I've spent my 8, 9, 10 quid on to work on my phone as well as everything else. Anyway, sorry, you keep trying to speak, and I just keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going. Go on, what are you saying?
Okay. I was just waiting. I just see if you was going to throw me some more there, but
I actually was gonna do, but there's like a 5-second delay. So,
well, what I was thinking was like the Call of Duty side of things when it comes to. I know like not a lot of people are interested in esports, potentially in the chat, but obviously we work in the esports industry as well, so it's always been at the back of my mind if I'm not already watching it with the likes of CS:GO. But can you imagine like if it was 20 versus 20? I know it can be 64 versus 64, but that's a lot of people to get into a room. And a lot of consoles set up, a lot of capturing devices. But imagine if they had a 20 versus 20 and they split up into the teams of 4, so with your assault, your support, medic, and mechanic. Assault, medic, support, I want to say is engineer one of them. Yeah, engineer's one of them. Anyway, if they had all them combat roles and you had 5 teams of 4 and you all went at each other, that would be that would be a very good esports event, would it not?
yeah, I suppose.
So 20 versus 20 broken down into the 4 teams, so you'd need less equipment to be able to capture from. You just have one capture device for the 4 teams, and then blah 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 blah. But just having it in an arena of that many people having a proper esports, I reckon that'd be quality, you know.
Yeah, I love I love the idea of, well, that. I mean, it's nice having your COD teams where you might get someone that has, I don't know, I don't know what the metas are for COD esports, but say one person has a shotgun or one person is the sniper kind of stuff. You might get that, not to the level where you would on CS:GO. Someone gets the AWP, and that's it. Everyone kind of like covers to keep that person alive, because one, he can one shot people, and two, that's a very high value weapon that they've got. It is, yeah, it's the AWP, innit? Yeah. I'm thinking, what was it called in Valorant? But they just changed it to an OP, which was clever. I see what you did. So you kind of tactically working knowing that I'm a runner gunner / meat shield protecting the high priority target, which is the AWP guy behind me, who's just going to bang collateral 3 people down C path, pow. Love it when you get games that make you work in that sort of variety. So having the medic doing medic things, having the engineer doing engineer things. I want to see Battlefield bringing that to the game, because that's why I like playing PUBG more than I like playing COD. Not that PUBG has medics, not that it has engineers. It just has loads of runner gunners. But if you have a team that can work together in PUBG versus a team that can work together in Call of Duty, I mean, you could probably argue it backwards and forwards multiple different ways if Call of Duty is your game of choice, but you get a team that can work exceptionally well, that has, say, one of them has a DMR, one of them has a bolt action sniper rifle. you just suddenly change the game from going against the team of people that just has all DMR assault rifle. It's like, okay, well, he's got a rocket launcher. He can just boom, the full team's gone. I mean, not that
Yeah.
rocket launchers are really good in PUBG because you get one shot stuff, but having that sniper rifle, just being able to crack someone's skull with one shot, and then everyone moves in on it. That's in PUBG where you just kind of you choose to play like that. Battlefield kind of like incentivizes you to play like that because of the classes and stuff. So, yes, I would like this very, very much. Late 2021, expect to see all of the Battlefield content here on twitch.tv/ice nice.
Absolutely.
Adam Online, how's things, dude? Feel free to check out Adam Online's channel, by the way. I say that. I was just about to say, if you want to see any Metal Gear content, I am assuming you've been streaming Metal Gear content recently, but maybe you haven't. I don't know. Feel free to check his channel out anyway, because he streams stuff anyway. Go check him out. The only thing I'm not looking forward to about this new Battlefield is getting my hands on either a PS5 or a 3070 to play it to its fullest. I mean, when you say you're not looking forward to it, do you mean because of the outlay, or do you mean because it's like a unicorn turd and you can't get your hands on it? Is it that one? I'm assuming it's the latter one. Because, I mean, nobody wants to get a new console because it costs money, but everyone loves getting a new console, so it can't be the former one, right? But yeah, getting older one, ridiculous. I'd love the idea of a 3080. People are selling 3080s, Founders Editions. I mean, what were they? Were they like 500-600 quid? 3080s Founders Editions, they're RRP. But yeah, 1,500 quid Facebook, and it's like, you fucking bastards. I accidentally bought two. Yeah, of course you did. Yeah, all right. Yeah, nice.
I accidentally bought two, but here's a £300 surcharge.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure that someone else gets the use out of it whilst lining my pockets with $1,000. Yeah. Madge says, oh, Lake's here as well. Hey, Lake, how's things, dude? How's things? Where did we get to? Match biggest Battlefield development team equals we welcome back all the people who worked on Battlefront to home. Exactly. Come back and work. Gary talking about EA press conferences, and it has to be. Oh, what was the first part? Oh no, there we go. Yeah, that was when I was talking about doing the E3 presentation, and it has to be so loud that your ears start to bleed. I'm sure everyone at EA is deaf. Yeah, that's it. That's the secret. When you watch these videos, and you've got like the White Stripes 7 Nation Army, like that was the Battlefield 1 trailer. The boom, bum, 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 down, 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 like the. I mean, that's already a banger of a tune anyway, but when you get that, I mean, that was a class trailer. The remix of the tune that they had in that, but it wasn't intended to be loud. It was supposed to be like nice and peaceful, but yeah, all the execs that listened to the trailers and stuff needed it turned up full blast, so that's why it was so loud. Gary knows it. There you go. Where did we get to? Andrew Wilson from EA loves a pair of brown loafers and a white shirt. Oh, there you go. There you go. I mean, see, I'm more thinking of like Phil Spencer, black bomber jacket, t-shirt. T-shirt has to be hanging out the bottom of the black jacket, out the bottom of the black bomber jacket, not tucked in or anything, because that would be odd. You've got to be cool and hip. And then jeans and I don't know, maybe trainers, maybe something like some Yeezys if you're a up and coming hip dev, or just some rushes, whatever. Yeah, that's. Do you know what? We'll add it all to the bingo cards for when we do our E3 coverage this year again, just because. Well, I say that. That's if it happens. We don't know. Well, our coverage will happen. It's just more of a case of how the conferences happen. The PC should continue to offer the definitive experience, says Madge, at least hopefully for the passionate PC fan base the games have built upon. Adam says agreed, but getting hold of a new gen GPU is a nightmare. Absolute. Yeah, fun times. Whole bunch. Well, there you go. So if you want to see some Metal Gear content, go check out Adam Online. Good guy. Nice. Where did we get to? It just mean that it's a unicorn, and I'm super excited to play Battlefield 6. No, I can relate. I mean, I am absolutely 100% a scalper. I full on. I'm not, but I have two PS5s because I was on the ball enough at the right time. I was just lucky enough to be in the right place at the right time twice. So I have a PS5 here, and I've got one downstairs in the living room. But I do not have. I mean, I think that's kind of easy enough because working in the games industry and having my finger on the pulse a little bit, it was easier for me to get PlayStation consoles. But the idea of getting a 3080, I just wouldn't even know where to begin there because I'm still fairly new to the whole PC world. So yeah. I can get myself a PS5 twice. Can't get myself a 3080 any chance. I mean, I'd love a 3090, but I'm not going to spend that much because 3080 is more than enough.
Yeah.
Things are East Side Hockey Manager finally. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, late posted something about his side hockey manager in general chat on Discord. And yeah, I love hockey. Sorry, let me rephrase that. I loved playing old hockey games, especially the 2K ones back on the 360. They were fantastic. And obviously the ones that was on Mega Drive. The nowadays, I can't get into them. And the thought of playing Hockey Manager blows my mind. No way I could do that. No way. Football Manager is enough stress as it is. Playing Spreadsheet Manager, I don't think I could do it when I don't know enough about NHL.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Nope, not a chance. I mean, I've never got into Football Manager games anyway. I've tried a few times, and I understand football.
Football Manager.
I mean, hockey and ice hockey, love the idea of, but I don't know the rules. So I mean, I could dig out my I've got a Mighty Ducks player shirt kind of thing. It's absolutely massive, but I could dig it out and sit there in it. Don't know what's going on in the game apart from there's a fight. Yeah, I know what's happening there. Punching, punching, punching. Okay, there's no longer a fight. How do you start another fight? That's basically hockey to me. Hit the small black plate, hit that into the ball. I mean, it's like a coaster. It's like a stack of coasters. Hit the coasters. Yeah, fight. Yay. That's hockey for people in Huddersfield. There you go. Nice. NHL. Bacon Chin. Did you accidentally buy 2? I may have accidentally bought 6 and sold 4 at £1,000 makeup each. Nice. No, I bought a digital one for up here.
So that was you, not Graham Day on Facebook Marketplace.
No, yeah, no, that was Mr. G Day, Graham D. Hey, baby's found a cat. Yeah, I bought a disc one. I ordered that like back in August, so obviously I got that for day one, and then about a month afterwards, I was able to get a digital one from Amazon. So I got a disc one for downstairs in the living room. So if I'm playing games for me and Danielle, like Spider-Man, which I was playing last week off stream for the big TV experience, but rather than having to unplug it and bring it up and downstairs, I've got a digital one for just up here. So there you go. Anyway, let's move forward. I did talk about this yesterday after Bibby bailed on us on the stream. You know what he's like. Sometimes he just does that. We can't control him. You know how dare he? Looking after family members and stuff. But anyway, Andy Robinson at VGC says Sony confirms it is testing PlayStation Plus Video Pass in Poland. Polish users have access to video content from today. No news on other markets yet. Sony Interactive Entertainment has confirmed PlayStation Plus Video Pass is a test service launching in Poland today. The service, which was leaked via PlayStation.com yesterday, allows PS4 and PS5 users in Poland to access over 20 movie and television shows from Sony Pictures as part of PS Plus subscriptions, with more content being added every 3 months. The test will run for a year in Poland. SIE's Global Services VP Nick Maguire told Spider's Web. The exec said the company decided to hold the test in Poland based on specific data, and that Sony would monitor the popularity of the service before deciding on a full launch. We want to see how players will benefit from such a service, he explained. What titles do they watch? What do they care about? How often do they use them? At this stage, however, I cannot say whether it will be created and what the test process will look like for other markets, as well as what the future is for PlayStation Plus Video Pass after the test period. We are currently focusing only on the Polish market, on Polish players, and what will be their reaction to the additional benefit under the PS Plus program. Asked to elaborate on why this test was being held in Poland, Maguire said, "We know very well that we have a large base of players in Poland who stand out due to their commitment and activity in the network and social media. They also like to use VOD platforms. For us, this is the perfect combination, the perfect market to introduce a test service as part of the PS Plus program and see what our key users think about it. Of course, I cannot share the exact data on the basis of which we chose Poland. However, I can emphasize that Poland meets all the criteria that are important to us. Your country is a mixture of very important factors from this perspective." And then last month, Sony announced the PlayStation Store would stop offering TV and movie content for purchase or rental later this year. We touched on that yesterday, so I will leave that there for now. But if you're in Poland, you can get PlayStation Plus Video Pass. No one else will be getting it, but that's a 1-year test for users in Poland. Thoughts on that, babe?
It doesn't say how much it is, does it?
It's
I'm
free
scrambling to try and find it.
within PlayStation Plus. So if you're a PlayStation Plus user, you get this all as part of your PS Plus subscription.
I completely misread over that one. I completely misread. That's pretty good. I mean, the
I
game.
don't think it actually said that in the bit that I read over, but it was kind of hinting at that in yesterday's article. So take that with a pinch. That is what I believe it to be. If you're a PS Plus
Okay.
user in Poland, you get access to the PlayStation Plus Video Pass.
Yeah, I mean, the films on there are watchable. I mean, but there's some of these films that probably aren't even on Netflix. So if you pay for Netflix, then I don't know how many films are going to be on this though. Is it going to be the same for, like, we've had the PlayStation collection now for nearly 6 months? The games haven't changed. So is it going to be the same films for a year? Because you could pretty much get through them in a month. And then there's going to be no films added. I mean, if it's a free thing that's being added to PlayStation Plus. If that's the case, you can't really grumble about it, can you?
Yeah, exactly. So it's good for me. It's good for me. The conversation that I was kind of like trying to lead yesterday is this enough in terms of let me just add this to the discussion now. Actually, PlayStation Plus Video Pass. Is this enough? So PlayStation's trying to add value to PlayStation Plus now, and is that arguably because Game Pass is better than PlayStation Plus? Is this enough to contest? Does PlayStation need to compete? Yes, Game Pass is better, but is that sustainable? Will that always be better? And if it is always going to be better, will it always be better for the same price? Is that sustainable? Could it still be better, but be 20 quid a month as opposed to 10 quid or 15 quid a month or whatever? PlayStation have the advantage. They have the numbers. They've got a solid install base. They've got some exceptional games. Adding to that, and another thing for free, just giving you, oh, you want to see some films? Here's a bunch of films. You don't cost anything. You don't have to do anything. You can watch them through there. And it's nice to have, but if it's Venom, which you can probably watch on Sky. I mean, this is obviously very UK centric right now. So, Venom I can watch on Sky. Venom, I'm pretty sure I can watch on Netflix. Venom will probably be on Disney Plus soon.
Yeah.
I can't see this lasting too long in that sort of sense. I mean, it's nice to have free stuff. Don't get me wrong. Add it in. It doesn't cost anything to me. Nice. But if it's a function that's there, they have to pay for that. And when I say pay for that, I don't necessarily mean they're paying for the films and the content. They're paying for the facility to be able to share them that way, for people to be able to watch them through PS Plus. If nobody's watching it, though, that's a lot of staff, resources, server space, whatever that's being used up for this, and it'll get pulled. So it's a nice addition. I just don't quite understand it.
Yeah.
Are they looking
Lots
for
of gain from this?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, do I want to get always on, always reachable access to a bunch of Disney films? Yes. Would I love to get unrestricted access to a bunch of Sony TV content? Yes. Is it all stuff that's going to be years old? I mean, Venom's recent, 2018. Zombieland Double Tap, 2019. Vin Diesel Bloodshot, 2020. For me, those have gone down in quality. Yeah, they're newer, but they've taken a step down in quality every time. I mean, Zombieland, the first one, was exceptional, by the way. Double Tap's okay. So I've seen them all. The better one is 3 years old, and I've seen it 3 times. So why I'm not that asked about installing Video Pass. It's free, but yeah, I don't know. I don't understand. It's good. It's good. It's a nice free addition. As the way Adam said it, anything that adds value to PS Plus is fine by me. Hopefully, I hope it gets fully rolled out. And Madge says says the same. I agree. I agree. Why? But why?
Yeah.
What's the aim? That's the thing. So that Return of the Mac, the Sony Disney venture must be something to do with the MCU too. Sony still have right to some Marvel property, right? They do, yeah. Some Sony bought. Was it Spider-Man and X-Men? And maybe Fantastic Four-ish, maybe not the Fantastic Four, but the rights to those, not necessarily the rights to all of the comics and stuff, but the rights to those in film are owned by Sony Pictures, which is why we didn't have Spider-Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe until super late on, and then it wasn't going to happen again, and then it did happen again, and yeah, so Sony owns the rights to Venom and Spider-Man and that world and so on. So it is complex, and there is reasons why they're going to be working together. But even that, if they're going to work together in Disney Plus, then it just kind of seems bizarre that PlayStation Plus will be doing its own video pass. Surely, if you're that close to Disney, you'd sort out some relationship where they deliver your video for you. I don't understand. So with the new Spider-Man this year, crossover have been confirmed with Doc Ock, Tobey Maguire universe. Yeah, exactly. The same dude that plays Doc Ock. I think, isn't it a case of they've got like they're doing full multiverse, like almost like Spider-Verse. They've got multiple Spider-Man kind of thing. Electro, Andrew Garfield, both Sony, so all hand in pocket. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, that's enough of that. We will jump into one more news story, though, before we wrap the scoop up for today. Let me figure out how to take this off the screen. Boop, there we go. Nice. Still getting used to the OBS. Okay, final news story of the day. We did mention it last week. Would you like some freebies? Do you want some freebies? Would you like some free games? Nice. If you're on PC, you can get some. If you're on PlayStation, Xbox, get a PC. No. We'll let you know when there's freebies. Obviously, there isn't much that we haven't told you about for Xbox or PlayStation now, but we did tell you about this last week, and it's out as of yesterday evening, UK time. But Alien Isolation is just one of 2 free games you can get this week from Epic. Hand of Fate 2 is the other freebie. Together, you get to keep the games totaling at $70. 70. So if you're a gamer, or you just visit the cheapskate occasionally, you may know that Epic Games gives away a free game each week. Each Thursday brings a new surprise treat, with past weeks featuring gems like GTA 5, Rage 2, Hitman, and Watch Dogs 2. This week, Epic is giving away a pair of games with a total retail value of $70, Alien Isolation 2 and Hand of Fate 2. Continue the Xenomorph adventure with Alien Isolation. You play Amanda Ripley, Ripley's mostly unseen daughter, who basically only existed in a director's cut scene from Aliens. As Amanda, you go hunting for Mom and end up battling aliens. This atmospheric single-player adventure usually costs $40, and there are a handful of add-ons available if you love the game. You can read the review there. And then Hand of Fate 2, looking for a mix of tabletop card game and RPG? Hand of Fate 2 sends you on infinitely replayable quests built from cards that unlock adventures, abilities, and foes. This week only, the $30 game is free. If you're new to Epic's weekly giveaway, here's how it works. If you don't already have one, sign up for your free Epic account, then just claim any or all of this week's games, and they're yours to keep forever. You don't even need to install them right away if you don't want to, and you can claim these titles anytime between now and the morning of April the 29th. We've told you before, we aren't in bed with Epic. It's just a really good deal. Epic gives you free games because they want to get you using their services. So if you have a PC, even if it's not good enough to play games, but you might play games in the future, just make yourself an Epic account, download Epic Games Store, and then just get those games redeemed for yourself. Absolute wins. You love to see it.
You do.
Alfred Molina back as Doc Ock. Awesome. Yeah, exactly. Alfred Molina, that's his name. Confirmed in the last few weeks. I've seen it shared a few times, but yeah, he's confirmed to be coming back as Doc Ock in the next Spider film. Nice. But there you go. Get yourself some free games if you've got a PC. Alien Isolation and Hand of Fate 2. $70 worth of games, yours for free. But thank you, everyone, for joining us for yet another episode of The Scoop. We are going to disappear. I am going to go and tinker with my audio to try and fix it so that I can hear stuff without my mic shitting the bed. Are you going to be playing any State of Decay, babe?
Yes, I don't see why not. We could play some State of Decay. That's not a problem whatsoever.
Nice. Well, I'm going to take some time to tinker with my settings and stuff. Because I don't fancy playing State of Decay whilst having my voice in my ear all the way through, because I'd have to be chatting to you and anyone else that jumps in, and then just hearing my voice when they're talking to me, kind of thing, like, so
yeah.
It might be worth you jumping on, and then if I get stuff fixed, I can jump in your game maybe, and doing it that way.
Yep. Yep,
Nice.
that sounds good. That sounds
Nice.
good.
So if you guys want to see some State of Decay 2, it's out on Xbox and on PC. If you've got an Xbox, you can download it on PC. If you've got it digitally, that is. Which is exactly what I did. And Bibi has the same game too through Game Pass, I believe. So we are playing
Hmm.
the Xbox game on PC. Nice. And we did play some games with Quads and Chucky, two guys in the chat that jumped in the stream the other day. Obviously, you might know Chucky because he does stream as well, friend of the channel. Quads did jump in and kind of, I want to say saved the day. He saved days. He gave us all sorts of like backpacks and weapons and ammos and stuff. So that we hopefully have progressed a bit. But anyway, I will have a lot of understanding to go through when it comes to State of Decay. Bib will probably give you a bit more of a legible experience if you're a State of Decay fan. So feel free to stick around in the channel. If you haven't already, if you're new here, please feel free to hit the follow button. It doesn't cost you a penny. That way you do get notified when we go live. So we will go offline from this and then jump back on again shortly after so that you can see some State of Decay. Nice.
Yeah. About 15 minutes time because I want to get some dinner because I'm going to be on till like 3 o'clock. So I want to get some dinner first.
Lovely. Lovely.
Team Fat.
Goddamn right. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Before we disappear, though, before you go and support, as you said, Team Fat, please stop calling me that. It hurts my feelings, but yeah, whatever. Is there anything that you'd like to add, Bib?
Yes, again, thank you very much to each and every one of you that have joined us this week and supplied us with news articles or whatever it may be that you've helped out in the chat. You've subscribed, you've followed, you've done all that beautiful stuff to help support this channel. We very much appreciate it. But if you do want to be involved with the show and help shape it, then please get in contact with us. There is 2 ways to do that. First of all, Gary's put the stuff in the chat already. Absolute shagger. You can find us on social media. It's at Ice Cream Rollers across all major social media profiles. If you are watching this on demand, then go into the description below. There is an area in there. It says Discord. Click the link. You'll go into our Discord. There's an area on there that says the scoop. Only from you is the URL plus your thoughts and impressions. We will bring you our thoughts and impressions on the very next show, which will be on Monday. At what time, Mr. Grave Day?
Well, that will be on Monday at 10 a.m. Ish. 10 a.m. ish. For those of you who don't know, we do not stream all the time. We stream around our real job. So we work for a company called Jelly Media. We are ice cream, jelly and ice cream. Nice, tasty. So we do stream around that, which is why we do have an emote that says ish, because we aim for 10 a.m., but it's not always 10 a.m. When I say it's not always, it's not usually 10 a.m. That's kind of what I mean. You get the idea. Anyway, I might see you shortly. If not, Bibby definitely will for some State of Decay. I'm going to go and kick my microphone in the dick. Technical term. So if I don't see you before, have yourselves a lovely weekend and stay frosty.
Stay frosty.